Hello friends, my name is Deepak Mena and you are watching Island Plus Tech Zone. In this video, we will discuss about the HTTP request methods. So let's start. HTTP is the facto communication protocol used by web APIs. The protocol follows a client-server model where clients communicate with with servers by sending requests and waiting for responses. One of the most important properties of HTTP request is the request method. The request method can have one of a handful predefined values often called the HTTP verbs. In fact, you will often hear HTTP request referred to by the value of their request method property. For example, request where the request method has a value of post has a of will simply be called post request method if the task of memorizing each one of these verbs and what they mean in the context of HTTP seems daunting to you, then you are in luck because in reality they are really one of a few of these that are actually used commonly. Let's take a look at these. So these are the main HTTP request methods: get, post, put, delete. Or these are the all type of HTTP request methods: head, post, fetch, connect, put, options, delete, trace. So let's discuss about the main topic of HTTP methods: request method, post request method, and put request method and delete request method. So let's start. HTTP get request method. In HTTP get request method, let's take a look at these. The simplest and most widely used HTTP verb is get. Request of type get or get request. Simple request for information. Get requests should only retrieve data. They shouldn't modify any of the underlying data that interacting with. For example, let's imagine that we have an employee API that we can use to interact with the data about employee in our company. About company in our we would make a get request to this endpoint in order to retrieve data employees. The next most common HTTP verb that you will come across is post. Is post like get request, post request are meant to modify the state of underlying data. Specifically, we use post to create a new resource, meaning whenever a new employee is hired by our company, we would send a post request to the employee's endpoint to add a new employee resources. The next verb we will look at each put like Push put requests are meant to modify data. But instead of creating new resources, we use put request to update an existing one. For example, we might send a put request to our employees API's job title or department has changed. And lastly, and most simply, if the HTTP request method has a value of delete, HTTP delete request. This indicates that we want to remove a record from the underlying database whenever an employee leaves our company. We might send a delete request to the employees API to remove the employee from our system. These four most common HTTP verbs correspond to four basic CURD operations: create, read, update, and delete, which make up the most basic functionality that most web APIs are expected to provide. Simply by changing the HTTP request methods, we can perform all of these different operations on a single API endpoint. This is why it's important to have a good understanding of request methods so that you will know how to use the right verb for the HTTP request method for the job. Okay, thank you.